This is the spoiler warning. If you are not caught up to Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 113, you don't want to watch this video. This is a video focused on Toji. If you are not caught up to chapters 113 of Jujutsu Kaisen, please, by all means, do not watch this video. Okay? That was my warning. We're gonna hit the intro. Jujutsu Kaisen is a world focused around logic, manipulation, deception, and darkness, and regrets, and death. And the thing about that type of world is that having young people in that world and having people who are born into that, and either they can naturally see curses or not, it can naturally cause some type of hierarchy, some type of classism, some type of separation system. And because we are focusing on Toji, the GOAT, one of the greatest characters in Jujutsu Kaisen, I think it's very, very clear that we focus on just how corrupt a world based on that is. A world based on what can you do for us. And when I say us, I mean the hierarchy of the Jujutsu world, the old elders that even Gojo once said, should I just kill everyone up top? When you look at a character like Toji, you have to think about the Zenin family at its core. And you have to think about what they believe in. And you have to think about what they truly want out of what it means to be a Zenin. And that's power, that's strength, and ultimately that's greed. To be able to be willing to exchange a child for money because of what an inherited technique might be, it has you really wondering and looking at the way the Jujutsu world works and go, what else are you guys doing for money because of inherited techniques? What else are you guys doing because of just the status of still having power, of still having that strength level that maybe your family once had in the past? Because things change. Nothing is always the same. And so when we talk about Toji, we have to talk about a character who had to strive in the darkest of places. Because in those places, people like him are accepted. In those places, people who are unorthodox are accepted. People who can form their own lane. In a world already dark, has to go somewhere even darker for it to really be able to fit them. Because in that darkness that's natural that they already live in, it is controlled. They want it to be a certain type of way. So you have to go somewhere where it's out of control so you can make your own imprint of the world. It reminds me of the Phantom Troop from Hunter x Hunter, specifically Crollo. It reminds me of them wanting to go, with them being out in the world and being thieves and being so bold in their aspect and everyone knowing who they are and yet not being able to do anything about them. And I feel like that was something that Toji liked about himself. As he stated in his original death from Gojo, is that he wanted to destroy the Jujutsu world as he knew it. He wanted everything to be changed. He wanted everything to be different. When you think about that, him dying by Gojo is very ironic because Gojo has that same mentality, wanting to destroy and change what the Jujutsu world as they know it already is. And so when you think about Toji in those last moments, and he's saying to Gojo, who he already thinks to himself is probably the strongest sorcerer in the world, he says, my son is being sold to the Zenin clan in 2 or 3 years. Do what you want. A man like that who in his last moments, remembering that he wanted to give up that pride, he wanted to no longer be like that, but ultimately realizing that it made him lose sense of himself, and saying that instantly to me screams that he cares about Megumi. He cares about his son and he cares about the name of Fushiguro, of it being separated from the Zenin. And Gojo respected that apparently. He respected this man in front of him who just previously tried to kill him, killed the girl that he was just defending, and also tried to kill his friend Geto. But he respected that. And he went and he decided that he was going to take care of this kid. He was going to change exactly what the Zenin were going to do with him. and also helped him keep the name Fushiguro. It's quite astonishing. So then we get Toji's character back, and we get him in this crazy new resurrection type of fashion that is so far from cliche. And it takes us into this realm of not only seeing him strive once again in current times, but it also sees us see him expose himself, and more than we did when he died the first time. It's a very interesting way to continue the plot points of who Toji is, and also continue his relevance in the story and how it would affect Megumi, his son. When you look at him fighting Megumi, and then the hesitation, and then the flashback to him confirming the deal with Naobito and what will be happening when they, discover Megumi getting his ability, and that sigh with that cold air, and the instant regret and the instant pain after confirming it with him, but also saying to himself, it'll be okay. Take care of Megumi. It will be okay. And it will be okay because you have a technique, because you're not like me, because you have potential. And I think that's, for a father, it's such a the duality behind it, because it's selfishness but selflessness at the exact same time. It's the selfishness of him not wanting to take on that responsibility of Megumi himself by himself anymore, but then also him believing also me doing this will give him a space to strive. And he wasn't wrong. Megumi has things he cares about. Megumi has people that he cares about. Megumi has a sense of self. Megumi has a sense of belief. And when you think about Toji's actions, he probably most likely did the best thing. It reminds me of Jin. It reminds me of Jin letting Mito take Gon and her telling him, no, I'm going to take your son, and him going, okay, but then still laying out the plot points for him. Still laying out the future because he knows his child, and at least he has a vision for him if he so chooses to make certain decisions. And I think it is one of the best relationships for parents I've seen recently at Jump, because it doesn't make the fact that the parent isn't around meaningless. It isn't just I don't have my parents and they move on. It has more true, genuine meaning. And it isn't just some random tragic story. It is a story that is because of the byproduct of the world that which they are already in, by the rules and means and terms by which the strong and their world live by. And Toji decided to become strong in his own way, make his own decisions, do his own things. And asking Megumi what his name was, and him saying Fushiguro, and Megumi responding with Fushiguro, and saying that's good for not Zenin, huh? That's good for you, and stabs himself in the head. It just is poetic in the way of that Toji said, I'm going to die on my own terms, and I'm going to die protecting my son. I didn't want to focus on Toji's battle progress in this video, because I think I'm going to make that a separate video that we could talk about just how strong he is, and talk about heavenly restriction, and talk about what allowed him to be able to be revived in a way for the period of time that he was, and why his body itself is such an anomaly. But I feel like we're going to also get more information on that down the line, so maybe that'll be another video for maybe some more time going by. But I think right now what needs to be appreciated about Toji's character is his writing, his characterization, and how a character like him has now affected the multitude of characters in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen. Gojo, Geto, Megumi, Maki. That is 4 major characters right there Toji has affected off of him just being who he is. You could probably throw Naobito in there, but Naobito's not a major character. You could probably list him as a 5th, but he's not a major. So those 4 characters are already powerful characters in our dialogue, in our narrative of the story. And Toji affects them heavily in extremely powerful ways. His stance in the world, how Akutami decided to handle his character, is amazing and is on the same exact level of that of Sukuna and Gojo, but in an entirely different way. In the way of a person who has no curse energy, how powerful they can become in that world, how that anomaly works in that world, and the power of Jiryoku and the power of Jujutsu is such an amazing power system, can all be fleshed out and understood through Toji. He's a phenomenal character, and a character that I know some people are disappointed because they wanted more of, but I feel like has come and hit the nail on the head for perfection. And when we get, and this won't be the last we see of him, it will maybe the last we see of him in current time, but we will see more of his character and a characterization of him probably, and more character development. And when I say character development, I mean the true definition of just understanding more about his character. Let me know in the comments below, and also on my Twitter, any other things that you want to discuss about Toji. I would love to discuss with you guys. I am very happy that a character like Toji has been brought into Shonen Jump and brought to my attention. And I am just so happy to see where Akutami is going with everything here. So, I'll be doing a poll on Twitter for who my next video will be on. So please be on the lookout for that. And once again, you guys, it is me, Dancho, and I appreciate you guys coming by and stan the Fushiguro family. Stan Fushiguro, stan Megumi, stan Toji. And soon we'll see what his stepsister's talking about, hopefully. Hopefully we'll get some information going on with her curse and all the things like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video about Toji. This was a video I want to focus on solely just how amazing of a character he is and how great he's been affecting the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, and how he affected Gojo, and Gojo focusing on his physical natures now, and how Gojo escalated his powers and gave him an amazing student like Megumi, and how Megumi now has to look at his father and has to move on into the future and do great things, and now has to figure out what is going on, who is this guy that just killed himself in front of me, and what's going on, and Maki looking at this strong, powerful character who just is doing the exact same thing that she does with no curse energy, and Geto transferring over to the other side after getting his ass beat, and now he's dead, but Geto now has his body. And it's just an amazing thing that a character like him can come around twice and be so powerful and be so profound. So, like the video if you're a Toji fan, dislike it if you hate him, I guess. Like the video if you enjoyed what I had to say about Toji, and also, like I said, let me know anybody else you guys would like me to do, and be on the lookout for me doing my poll on my Twitter page on @Doncho's Hideout. Thank you so much for you guys coming by, and I always appreciate the people stopping by at the Hideout. Please hit that subscribe button and that bell icon if you have not before. Once again, it is me, Doncho. Peace.